with just a couple of basic things? Or
You can start. It's fine.
okay, so a couple basic things. We just talked about it. So Zeke and I have been bound on this account wide. So flying is account wide. A lot of the Chiefs are. Um, there is so much going on in this expansion, from whether it's the gear that you get in NAS, the essences, the ranking them up, going back to the Forge. Um, then you got mech and all that stuff with the trinkets and the look, don't make yourself a 395 piece. Just hold all your stuff and keep it for the 420 piece. That's just my suggestion. I made that mistake once, but there's Titan Forge stuff. uh, there's going to be crafting stuff. A couple tips that people weren't aware of: if you finish all your stuff in non-war mode, so take like Champions of Azeroth, um, you can you can do that stuff in non-war mode or war mode if you want. But if you're non-war mode, before you go turn it in, turn your war mode on, and you pick up an extra 25% in your Azerite. Or if you've got your rep going across to Exalted, um, and you know how you get that the extra box, you pick up an extra 2,500 Azerite. You pick up 3 or 4 thousand gold and 500 in resources. Still, it's going to tamper down a little bit, and it has. But grind your stuff out. It's not. I'm just trying to give you guys the little things that it makes a difference. Um, um, to help yourself get your character moved along. Look, these zones, once you start getting some quests under your belt and some time, it all comes a little easier. And also the flying. Once you got the flying, which is revered, it's instant. It's revered in both. Um, it is it's instant. So it makes a big difference for farming. Makes a big difference for questing. It just makes a big difference. And the last thing I'll suggest is, you know, in war mode, there's groups. So if you get all your monsters killed, all your quests done, don't go join a 40-man raid group if you haven't done your quest yet. But if you need to go kill rares, and you want to get, you need this one, this chief here. I'll put it in guild chat. I'm not sure if everybody's on. That one there allows you to upgrade. But there's raids going on with war mode on, war mode off. So don't feel like, if you're playing at a different time or you can't get a group going with us, there's other ways to do it. You just got to be smart about it. I'm telling you, there's so much going on that there's no amount of minutes that can cover it all. And then the key things all change into. Um, so we're gonna have to get up on that and work together. Um, and the last thing is I brought Trini in. I've gotten a little gruff from some people. I don't care. Okay. I made a decision to bring Trini in here to start rated battlegrounds in PvP to give this guild a different flavor. She's a super nice person. I trust her immaculately. Even if one of our GM assist or main tank ranks, which can do all the same stuff, said, "Fuck you, I'm trying to steal from the bank," you don't have enough access to hurt this guild. Not that anybody would ever do that. Okay. And if they did, I would just replace the gold myself and the stuff that was lost. So nobody has to worry about my decisions when I bring somebody in, as far as a raider, manager, whatever it is. I have wanted to get the PvP in the right direction. I know how she does things. I've done it with her. I've watched how she runs her Discord channel and her people and how she RBGs. It's fun. She's a great person, and I'm not gonna have anybody give me any more gruff about it. So trust me, she's a good person. You'll have fun playing with her. That's all you guys need to know. And if you can get to 1,000 RBG, it allows you to rank up some of your essence. So I'll bring her and introduce her. But right now, she just got done with vacation when 8.2 came out, and then she had a family reunion. So she's just a little bit behind on stuff. So just give her another week or two. There's going to be an RBG night,
Do we
and
know what night that's going to be?
she's got some different ones, and I just try not to do it on raid nights. So, but you just go win it. You get about 192 points if you got a 0 rating in RBG, and once you you win about 6 of them, you'll be at 1,000, which will allow you to rank 2 up your PvP stuff. Trust me, I've been thinking about this. I've been working on getting her over here for months. Okay, I made her a serious offer. She's going to bring some people with her, um, and she's got other people she's working on recruiting. So just, there's probably going to be the fun RBG team, and then there's probably going to be a serious one. So just everybody, just trust me. I'm doing the right thing for the guild. This is something we needed, and we need a different aspect as well as the raid team, the key running. This is an aspect that we've ignored, and I'm not ignoring it anymore. And I got the right person to make it fun for everybody. Okay, that's all. I no questions right now. Zeke, go ahead.
Okay. The first thing I just want to talk about is raid schedule. So we wanted to keep the same raid schedule, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. But this upcoming Friday, we're missing about 3 core people, and we'll only have 1 tank available. So we're trying to figure out what day we could swap it with to actually have a third raiding day this week. Because I know me personally, I don't want to raid 2 nights this week. I want to raid at least 3. Um, for progression reasons. So we need to figure out pretty quickly if we want to raid Thursday night instead or like Saturday or Sunday. And I'm not sure what day would be best for people. I heard weekends are really good because there's some people that can't raid during the week that can raid on weekends, and then there's people that the weekends are really bad for as well. So we could do either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just go 3 in a row, knock it out, or we could go 2 in a row and then wait till Saturday. I don't know. And I don't know what my dad thinks either.
I'll do whatever. Um, I I probably understand everybody's stuff better than everybody. Um, we've got Rocks said he's got family coming in this weekend. No raid is that important. Shock's doing his internship, you guys, for a month. He's doing the 5 a.m. shift. He gets Fridays only off. It's frustrating for him with 8.2 coming out. He'll be there tomorrow night, and he's got Fridays, and he's really worried that we're not raiding Friday. So, Han has Saturdays are his devoted gaming time, with his spouse, and then some of you have to work, some of you have school. We just got all kinds of stuff going on, and I can relate to it. This time of year. I can't relate to it. If this was November and December, I mean, I, I mean, my time would be just so cramped. So I get it. It's not a big deal. We'll figure it out. But I think for mild ego progression, we know we're a good team. I'm not worried about that. It's just a question of let's just get it done. Okay. And then there's a question of, do we just do normal? Do we just start on heroic? But I'll let Zeke cover all that. So I think the best thing to do is after this, everybody message me what days you can raid other than Tuesday and Wednesday this week. We already know who can and can't on Friday. Kugels gets the work thing, Light gets the work thing. Um, some people get the partner spouse thing. I get all that. It's not a big Scoop. That's Wibbly Wobbly. Scoop is just getting back from vacation. He's got to work Friday night. It's just Friday's just not turned out to be the best, but it doesn't mean it's totally out depending on what we have. So, and on what we do Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the other question. Hey, Shock.
Yo.
All right, go ahead, Zeke. Continue on.
Yeah, so we just have to figure out what other day besides Friday this week we can raid, because if we try to put a group together for Friday, we might not even have 10. So that kind of sucks. Other than that, for this raid, it's 1 boss shorter than BOD, but in my opinion, this raid on heroic difficulty is much more difficult. I just want to talk about the difficulty real quick because the first boss in this raid is not, it's harder than the next 4. Um, so if we can't get past the first boss on heroic, then we're gonna definitely struggle getting past the next 4. I don't know why Blizzard decided to make the first boss kind of complicated, especially on heroic. On normal, shouldn't have any problems, but on heroic, I'm kind of a bit worried about the first boss. But then the next 4 bosses should just be a breeze. And then we have the last 3 bosses. So we have 6, 7, 8. The 6th boss should be an RNG check. It just depends on how badly things overlap. It's pretty much just like Coven from Antorus. So that's like a big RNG boss. And then there's the Void boss, which is just going to take a lot of practice. That boss requires a lot of assignments. You have to assign people to different realms, different portals. It's freaking insane. I've tested 6 out of the 8 bosses, and I tested Queen Ashara and then the boss before her on Heroic, and they are insanely long fights and insanely difficult, and like it takes an like crazy amount of coordination. Like BOD wasn't that bad. It just took a couple group splits on like Opulence, Rosticon, and Stormwall. You just had to separate the groups, no big deal. But for this raid, you have to have assignments for the Void boss, and then you kind of have to have a soaking rotation through a 10-minute fight for Ashara, which is not so easy to coordinate. But hopefully normal. We shouldn't honestly. If we, I wouldn't be surprised if everything was tuned right. If we can knock out normal in one night, like normal should just be a breeze. I don't think this raid has a lot of trash in it, and it's pretty like small. It's not like BOD where you go through 10 million hallways of trash that kills you. So I really do think if we push progression 3 hours, 3.5 hours tomorrow, and nobody leaves 2 hours in, and we're just focused and we just everyone just watches the videos and we're prepared, I honestly think we can be done with normal in a night. Especially because it's a small group. There's just less people to worry about, and it's a good small group too. Like when we did BOD, we had I think like 23, 24 first night. That's a little hard to coordinate, but we have like 9 people left, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. But if we don't get it the first night, then we'll literally kill it Wednesday. Unless we run into a problem like Stormwall Blockade where it's just overtuned. And we just didn't come up with the right strategy to do that. But other than that, I think either Wednesday or Friday, or whatever day we pick besides Friday, should be the start of Heroic progression. So ideally, what I would like to see for this week is to at least knock out normal. If everything's tuned properly and we play well, normal should be done within a night and a half. And then do the first 2 or 3 on Heroic. Because we do the first boss on Heroic, the other 4 bosses afterwards are literally the easiest thing. Like, not hard at all.
Well, why wouldn't we do, and I'm not trying to make this a back and forth thing too much, but I mean, you're the raid lead, but I mean, why wouldn't we maybe just do normal, maybe first 5? It is 415 gear. I get, but you know, if we find it too easy, maybe we go out and just pop the Heroic. It's 430 gear. We get that first boss down and move on to the others. And I've had other people say, hey, we should just do Heroic. I mean, I don't know. Some of us are geared to the teeth and others are geared well. And we've got a few people that are okay geared. And I would say okay geared. Under 410's okay geared. Anything 410, 415's really well geared.
To go in on Heroic instead of normal, I think all of us would have to be above 415 or higher. Best in slot gear, best in slot traits, best in slot trinket, best in slot stats in order to go into Heroic first. And I feel like half a raid doesn't have that. I feel like we have a lot of people that are under 410. So I'm personally against going into Heroic. I'm not going to go bang my head against the first boss in Heroic for an hour and a half when we can kill 6 bosses on normal. Just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm just a completionist. I like to like complete one thing and then work on the next. Now, if we like literally kill the first 5 bosses on normal in like 45 minutes, like it's that easy, then we can make a decision if we want to in raid to go kill the first boss on Heroic. But I think like
I just think if it's too easy, we got to be flexible. We got to go, okay, this was like, we've had that happen in Old Deer. We were like, what the fuck? I think we just kind of clowned our way through some of it. We had that in BOD a little bit, like, okay, that was easy. And, we're razor thin on some stuff, but I don't know. But I just don't want to be 100% locked up if something's so easy. We just gotta like, yeah.
Yeah,
Granted, it
but
is
there's
415.
also a whole bunch of crazy best in slot trinkets and patterns for your essences that come from the raid as well. So and those come from the later bosses.
Good point. Good point.
So I don't know. I mean, the only way that I would probably do it is if we hit a 2.5 hour mark, and let's say we're on the seventh boss on normal, or like we hit the 2 hour mark and we're on the seventh boss, and maybe it has a tuning problem, or maybe we just can't do it for some reason. Then maybe we
Right.
could step out and then go do heroic. But I feel
Like
like the first boss on
blockade.
heroic,
Yeah, blockade had a tuning problem,
yeah,
and we sat there our brains out over that. Maybe we shouldn't have because other people just gave up and they went and did heroic. So
yeah, that's what we
we
should have
just
done then.
we
Yeah,
just don't know. And you PTR'd all this, so I mean, this is
half of
this is
my half of the bosses that I did were mythic, and we literally died within like the first 15% of the testing. That's how great the testing was. But yeah, I didn't get any boss kills. I tested the second boss, and we got like the second boss down to like 15%, but that fight's like a joke. So other than that, I just got to see a little bit of like every fight, which is like a unique perspective to have.
that's all right.
So hopefully we just knock out normal though in like 2-3 hours. We'll see what happens. Maybe it takes longer. Maybe I'm underestimating the raid, but normal should be done by night 2 regardless, and then we should start heroic progression this week no matter what. So hopefully by next week we're at least 8 out of 8 normal and maybe 2 out of 8 heroic. That's a pretty reasonable goal I think we can hit for this week. And then next week we have to decide if we want to start on heroic or if we want to clear normal again. And I think that we should just start on heroic since the normal gear is literally only 415, and then the
I mean,
heroic gear is
but if we
430.
can find a day, I know we got so many problems on Friday with attendance. Um, but if there's Sunday night, we can come in here and do heroic too. I don't mind doing it. I mean, I really don't.
Like a
If
fourth
we got to
day, or you just
pug it, I just hate to leave bosses up that we can't do. If we have to pug one or two people, maybe it gives us the opportunity to recruit somebody.
yeah.
So
And that's the next thing I want to talk about too. So we're still looking. We're looking for another full time fourth healer, which the reason why we're looking for a fourth healer is because I don't think that the seventh and eighth boss on Mythic is 3 healable. Doesn't matter how well Horace, Danny, and I play. I do not think it's 3 healable. You have to literally everybody's so spread out thin, and then the last boss is just such a long fight. I just don't think it's 3 healable on heroic. So hopefully, what we can do for normal progression or heroic progression is maybe we can plug in 1 to 3 people, and then that gives us a really unique recruiting process because these people are progressing through a raid with our guild instead of just there for their weekly heroic clear, and then it might give us a better opportunity to recruit somebody. But we also have to take time to look them up and whatever. We just can't fight somebody by item level, but we can't really judge them by Raider IO either because it's not going to show, you know, this current raid's progression or whatever. We can't judge them off that, but I guess we could judge them off their BOD progression. So we might try to plug in a couple people for normal and heroic. Might not be a bad thing, but we're definitely still looking for a fourth healer for heroic, and then we'll use that fourth healer when our group gets up to like 17 or 18, and so hopefully we can get a couple more DPS to fill that spot too. And Shock also has a couple friends that he does Mythic Plus with that don't raid, so maybe he wants to bring some of his friends. I don't know. So, yeah, as far as the raid goes, that's like the plan so far, and we'll just go week by week. And I think this raid's going to be a lot of fun, and we're just going to kill it. So,
eh, that's fine. And then we've got cauldrons made. Get us through the first 2 weeks. Got some of the old ones too. I really they're so expensive. I'd really maybe for normal use the old ones, which is about a 30% difference in the flask. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, I'll use whatever, but we have 10 of the old ones still um, that we can use. And I'd like to save the best stuff for and use the old pre pots for normal. Then I do like to use the good stuff for heroic. But that's open to discussion. If somebody feels that's wrong, then just speak up and say so. If you think I'm nuts, just say so.
No, I think that's reasonable. But I guess like the last thing I kind of want to talk about is pre-pots and like all the new enchants and stuff. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's new gems. I think the new gems and enchants are 60 to a
50.
stat.
They
50.
knocked them down. We made them at 60. Verde was working on all that, and then
They
they
nerfed it.
knocked it somewhere midweek. It went from 60 to 50. It's like, what the? I
That's kind of
couldn't even
dumb.
believe it.
Okay, well, so there are
Gems are there to use. They're already there. We've got 30 or 40 of each kind. So go ahead and I prefer you on your new stuff. Get the 50 stat in there.
there's new pre-pots, and so they're nothing like the old pre-pots. You can still use the nine. I think it's like 1200 now or 1300. But the old
That's 12.
pre-pots would be yeah. The old pre-pots would just be 900 to a stat. If you missed a pre-pot, oh well. But if anyone's looked at the new pre-pots, they're kind of pretty insane. Trying to find this one. I'll link in guild chat.
You're talking about the special the battle things.
Yeah.
The
So
battle
like,
potion.
The 20% crit one, is that the proximity, the red one?
yeah. So or I just linked one. There's a couple of them.
Yeah, the battle potions like the intellect, agility, strength, they went from like 900 to 1200. I'm off by like 15 points there, but basically, about
They just buffed it
35%.
for that level increase. But like I think this crit one right here, you pretty much on pull, have a 20% increased crit chance on the boss, which is like if you're a hunter and you do 3 aim shots, they're all probably gonna crit. If you're a demon hunter, your burst is gonna be pretty crazy, and it lasts for 30 seconds or 25 seconds. So there's new pre-pots. There's some other ones too. I think the crit one though is just absolutely insane. And then there's the healer one. Here's the healer one. But I don't know. I probably won't use the healer one. I don't think that's that good to be honest. But we'll make sure we have all these made, and then we'll hand out pre-pots tomorrow for raid. But on heroic progression, I would like to see everybody using pre-pots on every pull that we have a chance at a kill. So if we're just pulling and wiping at 80%, 70%, just doing progression, don't pre-pot. It's pretty self-explanatory. But if we're like getting consistently to phase 3, phase 4, 5, 10, 15% boss health, I need everybody to pre-pot. And it's not like it's you buying them. The guild is literally giving you the pre-pots. So there's no reason not to really use them. And
They're
then
expensive. They're expensive to make.
yeah. And then there's new weapon enchants too. I'm not an enchanter, so I can't link them. But I don't know how insane they are, but I saw there's like 4 or 5 of them, and there's like 3 of them that increase like your main stat and then give you like crit or haste. Yeah, there. So I just want to make everyone aware that there's like all this new stuff that you can look at and use instead of just using the old stuff, because I don't want to see someone like pre-potting with like a 900 agility pot. It's kind of not that useful.
We have the mats for the enchanting in the guild bank. We've already have some of the chants made. Just Light and I are going to get together. It's a pain in the ass getting the rep and stuff, but probably that and the Zen is probably the biggest expense we've had. But even though I haven't taken the money from Guild Bank, I've been running it off my off a horse here. I'm getting ready to get reimbursed for everything that we're putting together. So, uh, you know, it's there if you need something made, we'll have some extras. You're ready to get an upgraded weapon and you need that chant, but know what you want. I mean, I guess, know what you want to use, know what you want, make sure you're chanted, make sure you're gemmed. If you're not, you don't see what you want, just ask me. All you gotta do is message me in Discord or the game. Hell, I'm on all the damn time. Say, Horse, I need this, I need that. If you are part of this core raid group, you don't have to go buy it. I mean, we'll get it for you. So I even got some of those damn 120 stat intellect and agility. I don't know if I got the strength one yet. I wasn't up for how much somebody had modifier. You need to go look at that again today. So, yeah, but I mean, it help each other out. You know, it helps in guild chat. Hey, I just got this achievement. Here's what I did. Here's what it did for me. You know, not that you're bragging, or hey, you know, we just ran a key and look what happened, or look at these affixes. You know, or we're just, you know, working together. Hey, I'm getting ready to go do a bunch of quests in mech. Anybody want to go with me? You know, but there's so much to absorb in your brain here right now, and it's hard. You know, but if you guys communicate, plus, you know, you can scroll back through Guild Channel and see what's going on. There's some good info there. So just, you know, stick together, work together. So,
And I just have a couple more things. So everybody should be going into next week with 5 bonus rolls, right?
7 technically.
Yeah, 7 technically. So you can honestly, if you want, you can do 2 on normal. There's some really unique items, like there's 2 trinkets and I'm going to bonus roll on for normal because they're really insane. But other than that, I'm saving everything for heroic. But everybody should have 5 bonus rolls going in. So should be easy to get some gear. And then has anyone hit 55 yet on their neck?
I have.
Jesus. Anyone else?
54 and 31%.
Are they still doing the Azurite knowledge? The whatever they were?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is that still going down every week by like 30%?
Yep. So tomorrow will be cheaper.
Alright, cool. As far as right now, no like Azurite requirements. I don't really think a level 1 miner is like too insane. And we'll all have it by heroic progression anyways. And then it's probably going to take another like 2 weeks to get 65, I would assume, because it's a lot of fucking AP.
And I know this Friday's a little wonky, but is there going to be any? If you're going to have problems for the second Friday, you guys need to let me know. So I think I understand with the work, last minute, the moving, the, you know, the family things. I get it. Okay, but just let me know. So
I'm trying to think about what else. I think that's all I have. I mean, his last thing is that just keep in mind this is a way smaller group than what we had for BOD. We're going to be 3 healing, all of normal, unless we need Muck or Hanlin to heal the 7th or 8th boss. So just keep in mind we don't have 4 to 5 healers. And if like 2 people die, most likely the boss will not go down if they die at the start of the fight. Unlike when we had 23, 24 people, or 2 to 3 people die, it's whatever. But everyone just has to be more careful and aware. Since it is a smaller group, you can't really slack off.
yeah, your zone quest today is the Wave Blade for 25 mana pearls. That's a big deal. I mean, you got 3 days to do that, but so you guys know. It's so funky, some of the stuff that's going on. You know, that just you got to know this gear, where to get it, how to get it. And mech's it massive. You know, you think you're done in mech, and there's always some other shit going on. And then you can just, you know, then you can go throw war mode on, and there's additional quests. And then you can just go get in a war mode on or off group, raid group. They're going on all the time. Cruise around and kill shit and get shit. So that's all kinds of unique stuff. If you just got to put the time in. I know it's hard. And we're kind of joking about the grind, but everything here is a grind. You know, you'll get, you know, and as you start to move through it all, it feels better, what you can do by design. Yep. So
I have a question. Shock, do you know what? Can you explain the new season of Mythic Plus? Like, do you know what the new affix is? I have no idea.
It's Infested 2.
What was infested again? It was buff the mob, right?
Shitty. So there's 3 mobs. They're spread. There's a lot of them. Like a lot. Like almost every pull in the dungeon's gonna have one of the mobs. There's a void one which casts a shadow damage or a spell that you can't interrupt. And if you get hit by it the 3rd time, you're dead. End of story. The second one is some nature one that while she's in range of the mobs have a thorns aura that basically will kill you if you hit them. Then the third one is basically exactly like infested, where when the infested mobs is within range of normal mobs, they are not interruptible, not stunnable, not anything.
The fuck?
And it's gonna be rough.
What essence are you talking about in guild chat? Which one is that?
There's a Mythic Plus essence that you get rank 1 by completing a 4 and a 7, but the rank 3, you have to collect 15 of these items, and you get 6 of those items if you complete a 10, or you get 8 if you complete a 15 or higher. So you can get the rank 3 in 2 weeks if you complete 2 15s, like one each week. You don't have to plus them, you just have to complete them. Yeah, that's gonna be an incredible one for Resta Druid, which we don't really have right now, but
I have a Rest of Druid.
Oh, stop. Put that thing back in the closet.
Oh my god.
that essence of focusing hours is gonna be BIS for people running keystones. The minor will be BIS for most DPS classes.
That shit seems pretty broken.
I
Not
mean,
gonna lie.
if you got a question about key, I'm sure Shock can answer it for you. It's just something that some people do it. Some of you do it once in a while, and some of us do it all the time. And you know, if you don't ever do them or hardly do them, you're not going to learn. And then you can't expect to go jump in some 12, 13, 14, 15 key, and you haven't even done the key but once in the last 6 months. So, you know, doing them, understanding them is a good thing. You know, and Scoop's not quite geared like Shock is, but Scoop loves to run keys too. So I think you'll, you know, give us another tank to help do keys. So, but you know, and he's gonna do it on his DK. And Rox is you know, excellent on the keys too. So, and if you can convince Light to tank, he's good on keys too once he gets everything figured out. So, but I mean, there's just a lot to absorb, lot to do, lot to learn. And you know, just when you think, okay, I got to do this PvP thing, I got to do this key thing, I gotta do the rating thing, I gotta, you know, all this shit, I gotta get the rep. It's a lot. It's a lot.
What item level does the plus 10 give you in season 3?
It'll be 430 from into dungeon, 440 from into
440 Azerite?
No, because you have to use the vendor for Azure.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll take roughly 3 weeks to get a Mythic plus Azerite piece if you're doing 10. 2 weeks if you do 15s.
Got it. How early do we want to start raid tomorrow?
No, there's just make sure everybody's there and we'll just go. I mean, if everybody can be early, great. Can anybody not be there at 5
When?
tomorrow?
I know what time tomorrow.
5:45 server. Can anybody not do that?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. I thought you said 5. Like, yeah, I'm still at work.
Yeah, just make sure you guys are watching, you know, videos and kind of prepare yourself. Because the way that I'm going to go tomorrow is small explanation and we pull in. Because it's normal. And it does, in my opinion, for normal bosses, I don't think they need a heavy 5 to 10 minute conversation. Maybe for Ashara. But tomorrow, it's literally going to be small explanation. This is what we're doing. This is the strat. And we pull in. Non-stop. The entire time. Until everything's dead, hopefully. So please don't be that person that messes something up because they just missed something very basic in a video. Like for example, the first boss, she marks the raid. Half the raid will be frost. Half the raid will be poison. And if you don't watch the video to know that, or you just didn't listen to what I just said, and you end up wiping the whole group because you're poison on frost side, then that kind of sucks. So just kind of like prepare yourself for at least like the first 6-7 bosses, and then for Ashara we can have like a 10-minute conversation about how the fuck we want to approach that, because honestly I have no idea how I'm going to approach that boss.
I mean, this is a proven group. Some of you haven't played together or raided before, but I've raided with just about I think I've raided with every one of you, and so has Zeke. So this is a proven group. Granted, we all make mistakes. We don't have to, jump down each other's throat about it or something. We just gotta just be cool about it, understand, and we just move on. But this is a big production to do every week for going on 3 years now, minus when new content comes out. So, respect that, appreciate it, from the recruiting to old players coming back to people going away, whatever. It's a constant ebb and flow kind of deal. But you're all good people. That's what I look for when I'm doing this.
Everybody except Dirty.
I look for, he's reformed. I look for, people that have, decent rating skills, and I look for people that, got non-volatile personalities. So, and some people get frustrated. I get it, but better to air those things out on the side than air them out in front of everybody else. So, yes, you feel bullied. I know that we bully people, but it is what it is. There's so many guilds and raid groups that fall apart, and we don't even think about that. We just keep moving forward, keep building the pot. And you might be surprised. We might be at 20 something in a couple weeks. I might take us back up there. So, but it's all good, guys. It's a good group of people, and there isn't a person that's in this raid group that I wouldn't meet in real life. Okay, take you out to dinner, whatever. So, if you're in Denver, let me know. Yeah, I'd take Dr. Shocker out too.
It's pretty big coming from my dad. He won't even take me out to dinner, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. There is the exclusionary clause. My son, I ain't taking him nowhere. No, it's all good. Anybody got anything else? I got dinner on the table. This one a little longer than we thought, but I'd rather air some of this stuff out now. If you see something, we need something, suggest something, what we should do something, guys, we're available all the time. So that's it. And I need to talk to Heels and DPS. Heels, I'm gonna catch up with you. I'll be back in about 20 minutes tops. I don't even know what's for dinner, but it smells good. So it can't take me longer than 20 minutes to eat dinner.
Well, that's it. So we done.
Yeah, if you got something to suggest, now's a good time to bring it up. You're recording this, right, Zeke?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back.
Do you want me for the healing thing?
What healing thing?
I just said that he was going to get with the healers afterwards.
I think he meant the individual.
Yeah, the individual.
Oh, okay.
Heals the DPS. Yeah. I mean, Hanlon, I don't think you'll be healing. I think we'll be fine. But I think Muck would play Holy first before you would heal. And yes, Trevor, Light is raiding. He's just working right now. Shock, what do you think of the new raid? Have you looked at anything?
I think the first boss will be pretty hard. I think the fourth boss is actually might be the hardest boss.
Oh fuck yeah, that's a DPS check. Rip.
Yeah, and it's a responsibility check too.
How's it a response? Are you talking about clearing the stuff with the debuff, or
So it's similar to Shara where there's a the orbs, you can only soak one orb. So ultimately everyone's gonna have to soak an orb.